Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 81. And obviously, I did say yesterday about the draw, but obviously it turns out it was before the West Ham game. So obviously we will get into that. Obviously we are a bit later on than we planned, because obviously we was watching the draw and you know how they love to long it out. But obviously we'll be getting into the draw, the Grimsby game, bit of transfer news that's been happening. Obviously, it is the final day tomorrow as well. And then obviously talk about the game tomorrow against Cardiff. But like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. You?
Yeah, that draw was an absolute madness. We was watching it together just backstage before we went live, and flipping hell, it's a madness. I honestly thought we'd get Stoke at home. I just had a feeling, but I'm not just saying it. I did have a feeling if we was to get someone away, it would have been Southampton. And I don't know. I just had that feeling. But yeah, obviously that is the first thing we're going to get into. The FA Cup 5th round draw reaction. Obviously only mainly us, of course. We got Southampton. What are the flipping odds of that, eh? If we progress, of course, which I believe now we will not be playing youngsters like a lot of people maybe said about, depending on who we get. I can see us going pretty strong against Grimsby like we have been in the FA Cup and progressing. So, yeah, and I know you're probably the same on that, Dad.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the draw. These things do happen in football quite a lot more often than you think. And I obviously had a feeling as well. And actually, it's good that it's away as well, because I feel like,
it's like what Adam says here, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I think they'll be under more pressure at home. And, what a great story. That should be nominated. That should be on BBC anyway, in my opinion, because there's so much, obviously Nathan Jones, do they feel it strong? Like, depending on what happens in the next couple of Premier League games or whatever, pressure could be on him in that game. I still don't think they'd sack him, but there's so much spice added to it because of that. Obviously, then you've got James Bree going there, and he's probably likely to start against us as well. What reception are people going to give Bree? They're going to give Nathan Jones. It's going to be mental, especially if you go into that game, physically go into that game. What great opportunity, football story that is, especially if we beat them, get to the quarterfinals, don't you?
Yeah, it'll be the quarterfinals after, yeah.
And the players will be well up for it, won't they? They will. As a footballer, they will be so up for this. Proper chance to test them. Like I said to you, he knows how we play, but then, like you said, we know how he manages.
Yeah, exactly.
We're more well drilled than they are. Do you know what I mean? He can say they're going to come up after they're going to do this, but obviously Rob Edwards will do some tweaks as well. But it'll be fucking interesting. I'll tell you that. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's just written for. Obviously, we still have to progress against Grimsby. But like I said, it's just written for us to do it. We're going to go with a strong lineup like we have been, and I can only see it going one way. We know our home form's been sticky this season anyway. Away from home, we usually get the job done majority of the times this season.
Oh, pre-cup tied, yeah. Well,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Isn't it? But
we'll still see him lurking there.
Exactly. He'll go to it, won't he? Obviously, but
yeah,
but it is what it is. Yeah, he's paid for us, hasn't he? So it's bittersweet for him, but for the rest of us, it's going to be even more interesting, especially if that player we got on loan, he's going to be back playing in Bree's position, and Bree can't come on and do nothing to big himself up against us. That is a bit of a shame, but Nathan Jones will probably be fit. I don't know what he'll be fit. He's probably thinking, God, do you know what I mean? Because he knows it's going to be tough, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to be like, you boys here at Southampton. And some of them might think, nah, man, we should be beating them. What? Championship team? This will be a proper test for him to see how they react to us. Do you know what I mean?
Fact.
I'm not bothered that they beat Man City and that. Like
No.
it's just the team. This should show us how far we've actually come, and it'd be great if we actually did beat them, or even get a replay at the Kenny.
Oh, mate, that would be phenomenal. Real talk.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got to think how players like you're going to see that midfield battle of Campbell versus Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
you know
see
what I mean?
both games, isn't it? See both games.
Yeah.
Extra time penalties at Kenilworth Road. Imagine that.
Yeah, like I said, obviously, like I said, we do have to progress, but I can only see it. It's just written for us, isn't it, really, to play?
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, and we're just going to, we're going to go strong, and we're away. Do you know what I mean? Away this season, we're really good. I just had a look just to see if we did progress in the league when it comes to away, and we're third. And we're only a point off the two that are above us, which is Preston and I want to say Sheffield United.
I can see it happening. I can definitely see it happening.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I'm happy with that, especially with all the stories and everything to it.
I mean, can you imagine what their fans are saying as well? That's a what are they going to say if we beat them? They can't. That's going to be like, oh well, we're shit. Yeah, but he can't be that shit because he come from the team that just beat us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a mad one.
No, exactly. It's
they won't.
Weird how football works, eh?
We won't want that. Yeah, they won't be coming in. They won't be going, oh yeah, we should be definitely beating Luton. They'll if you go on their forum now, they're probably thinking, oh no, like Luton are going to be so up for this. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be unreal. Of course, they're going to want to beat Nathan Jones, 100%. But he can't really lose in a managerial aspect. He can't lose. Like lose that game, whatever. But it'll just be testament to him, no matter what. Because you know what I mean, especially if we beat them, probably. So, yeah, I'm really, really pleased. I want to see what other people are saying about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up everyone inside. A lot of people inside. Jackie says she knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just mad. A lot of people called it. To be fair, like I said, I had a feeling away. If we got someone away, it would be there. I'm not just saying that as well. I'm generally being serious. Home, I thought we was going to get Stoke. I thought Stoke more. I don't ask why Stoke. I just had that feeling. Like when I said we get Birmingham first game of the season, we did. It was similar to one of them, really. Also, the fact we've got them at the weekend, that tends to happen. Obviously Wigan, for example. Then we had them in the league. I thought it'd be something like that. So yeah, there you go with that. Big up David. He says, yes, T, big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. And that, this goes back to what I said earlier. We'll know him as well in that sense. Well, the players, of course. So it's gonna be an interesting one, man.
But we ain't got many weaknesses in search. Do you know what I mean? I don't, there's a couple, but
couple players that can't cut it going forward.
Possibly,
if we progress, but
I feel that Southampton have got more weaknesses than we've got as a squad
at this current moment in time. I'd probably agree with that, 100%. It'd be sick, Adam, mate. It'd be sick, honestly. Hoping to do it, mate. Hoping to do it. Obviously, we do have to get past Grimsby, but yeah, I just think it's written for us now, really, especially after that.
I mean, if you start battering them, their fans going to say you can have him back.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be mental. It's going
to be.
And again, this is how far we've come as a football club. Do you know what I'm saying? So
facts.
Things like
that. So yeah, there you go with that. Hanno obviously buzzing about Enzo, obviously Chelsea fan. Wasn't it like 110 million release clause or something ridiculous like that? It's madness nowadays. It's something like that. It was over 100 mil. I know that.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I know. We're better. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Well, yeah, most likely because it'll be the quarterfinals, isn't it? So if we do progress, which Adam actually thinks we will win as well, to be fair.
Yeah, right, but it ain't Tottenham, mate.
Oh, yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. But I think it's written for us to do that now. Hoping, mate. Hoping. If anyone can clutch one, and obviously I'll sort it out. I think me and Stephen are trying to get something in the works. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, that is what we got to say on that. Now moving on to the FA Cup game, which obviously we had to take another replay in. Obviously Grimsby, good to be back at Kenilworth Road again myself. It's my first time in 2 months, which is absolutely crazy to think. But obviously back again. Went with one of my mates. I know for schools. Went to a few games with me last season. And good game if you're a neutral. If you're watching it from our perspective, obviously not great defensively at times. But obviously the lineup, I went Ethan in goal, Osho, Lockyer and Potts. The wing backs, Doherty and Bell, and that is back to back. They've actually got the wing backs in the right position on flash scores for once. Campbell, Ruddock, and Clark. So like I said on the vlog, that's a midfield you'd see in the league. And then obviously Cornick and Elijah up front. My thoughts on the lineup. Obviously, I know we've been going very strong in the FA Cup, so I expected to see the likes of Ethan and that just due to the fact he keeps playing. Same with your Campbells, etc. as well. And yeah, I thought it was a very strong lineup, to be honest. I was happy with it. I was interested that Cornick was starting. Obviously, there's been speculation. You never know what he could still go. And I think there's still a high possibility. Obviously tomorrow is going to be the interesting one as it's obviously the final day. But yeah, overall, I was happy with the lineup. Looking at it, I thought it was good enough to do a job. What your thoughts on the lineup, Dad?
Yeah, echo your thoughts, mate. Do you know what I mean? Strong. We need to go quite strict. Good job we did, really. Potentially, probably could have lost that game, maybe. I don't know. But, the Cornick thing was interesting. We'll get more into that. But other than that, I weren't too surprised at the lineup.
Yeah, sorry. I just saw this thing. So basically, Caden was like on the vlog. If you lot have seen it, he was sticking up in the comments. He's like sticking up for our ground and stuff. And then these Grimsby fans are going at him like he's actually a Luton fan, but little do they know he's not. But anyway, yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously the bench. I'll go through the bench as well. Berry, Burke, ISTED, Morris, Nelson, Fred, Thorpe, Watson, and Woodrow. Obviously, we tend to have more on the bench in the FA Cup as well. And yeah, man, that's a good bench. Good to see that Nelson's, still getting to be on the bench. Have that experience because what I've seen of him through the development squad and obviously the youngers, he's a good player, man. He's a good player. He's been doing well in games. So it's good to see that he's still there, in that sense as well. And obviously Fred as well, coming back. It's good to see him back and etc. I don't know if Stephen will agree with that one, but yeah, that is that. But yeah, going into the first half, I felt it was one of them where, we had chances. We had a lot of chances, as you lot saw on the vlog, or would have seen if you watched it. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Big up to everyone that has. But yeah, it's just the final third in the first half was not so great. There was a lot of times we blazed it in, over the bar, crosses too close to the keeper at times. But there were some players that were absolutely phenomenal in the first half. Clark, what a performance he had, man. In the first half, when he done them kick-ups in the first half, during the game, the flick over the players' heads. We done a lot of good passing. We had a lot of good opportunities. Just that final third, I thought, was just lacking slightly in that first half. But your thoughts on the first half for us, Dad?
Basically, that, a lot of crosses were way too close to the keeper. Snatching at chances, in the first 10 minutes, they were playing pretty well. It took us to a few minutes to get grips with it, and then once we did, we showed why we're the championship team basically. But yeah, we're just snatching at chances.
Yeah,
should have done better. But then Morris was on the bench. He'd normally start. Maybe you could say, Doughty was lively, but that's where potentially you could miss with everything, because there was quite a lot going to the keeper. if James Bree was on the pitch, would some of them crosses been better potentially? Could ask that question, but is what it is. You know, Grimsby were dogged. They stuck in. They were up for it. Their fans were fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Area, and we've done that. We've been there and done that against Championship teams, Premier League teams, or whatever back in the day. So you know you've got to be up for it as well. And basically, we just switched off a couple of times, and we shouldn't have done because we've been there. We should know how it goes. And that's the only disappointing thing really about it. Other than that, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Their fans were brilliant. Obviously, where I sat, sick view, you know, I'm definitely going to try to do that again in the FA Cup. Obviously, if we progress, because league season ticket holders have their seats there. But yeah, it's basically where I sit with Alex and that, but it's more to the left. And there literally is no seats next to me, and it's literally their fans. And yeah, they were really loud. They were really good, to be fair to them. It did annoy me at times, but obviously football banter, you know how it is. But yeah, they were really good, to be fair. They were really good. So yeah, like my dad said, they dig deep as well. Obviously, I did get a goal before half time, which obviously frustrating from our end. Another set piece. I remember at the start of the season, we conceded a lot of goals from there. Potts turning his back, not great defensively. He's been caught out again. There's been a lot of games where it's been like that for him this season. A lot of people criticising Ethan on this goal as well. I don't really think he could have saved it. Obviously, you know, I was the other side, but don't get me wrong. But I've seen highlights and the replays, etc. He couldn't really have done much for me there. It was a good header. We just, you know, I felt Potts could have done better there personally. Your thoughts on the goal, Dad?
Yeah, same. Like, obviously, when I see the highlights or whatever straight, I get, you know, if I watch it on TV, well, I get that advantage over you or whatever. But so I could see, like, you know, he sort of turned his back for the header. It weren't like, you know, if Bradley or someone, they would have been on that. Burke even, do you know what I mean? I'm not going. Osho was marking. I don't know. He might have been at the back post actually. You know, but yeah, that's what I felt. Keeper. It was such a guided header, and it was low as well, and there was someone on the line that he didn't have really much time to react or was going to dive into the player on the line or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't have done much about it. That's it.
Yeah. I definitely agree, 100%. But yeah, big up Wolf in the chat. He says, "Big up T, big up yourself, mate. I hope you're well." But yeah, I agree. Obviously, like I said, very frustrating time. Obviously, that they took the lead. You know, right before half time. Usually we've been doing that in recent weeks. You know, we've been scoring before half time. Obviously, Huddersfield was an example of that. I want to say we've done it against QPR as well. I know. Was it QPR? I don't know. It's someone else that we've done it against as well. No, sorry. It was Wigan in the FA Cup. That's who it was. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously moving into the second half, we finally got a penalty this season. Oh my God. Halfway through the season, we finally got a penalty. Definitely a penalty. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, there's no debate. Osho, I thought he was brilliant in the second half. A lot of people were quite critical on him, which I was very surprised about, but I thought he was brilliant in the second half. I thought first half he weren't good or bad. You know, he was doing all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see too much, not in a good or bad way, just, you know, one of them. But second half for me stood out alongside, you know, Clark's and that. And yeah, that's definitely a penalty, you know, 100%. We both know that, and everyone else that was there knows that. And then obviously Elijah. Now, I did have a feeling, I'm not going to lie, only because we haven't had a penalty this season, which is madness to say, especially of how, you know, far we are in the season. I just thought he might miss just due to that, but he ended up scoring it. Great penalty. Keeper went the other way, and yeah, it was a good penalty, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah.
4 out of 4 as well.
Yeah, definite penalty. I was quite confident that he'd score. Their keeper was trying, you know, he's definitely a good shit house, time wasting, and tending he was injured and and you know, but he played all right, to be fair, their keeper. But yeah, I was pretty confident that he's fit, you know, he's confident at the moment, so I was pretty sure he'd put it away. And you know, I knew we'd score early on. I knew we'd come back and take the lead anyway. I told you that half time, but
yeah, you did, yeah.
you know, he's going to be starting the next game.
Yeah, and it's like the Elijah of last season that we're seeing
Yeah,
now. To be fair,
both start banging in goals and working together.
and that's what we've been waiting for to tick all season.
Yeah,
no, that's good. But the thing is, like I said, for me, he hasn't. Yeah, there's been some games where he has been, you know, not great at all. But then there's loads more where he's been unlucky for me, Elijah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just needed that confidence booster when he got that first goal. And obviously from there on in, you know, like I said, 4 out of 4. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously we did take the lead. Like my dad said, obviously we did make some changes up front as well. Bringing on the likes of Woodrow and Morris. I think Woodrow went in as the cam though. That's how it looked to me. Because obviously who come off, it was Campbell. So, and then obviously Morris for Cornick, which I did feel needed to happen. I did feel Cornick needed to come off. I'm not going to lie. I knew these were definitely going to come on at some point, especially now we have them.
Yeah, we just touched on that, but Cornick, yeah, and like considering like, you know, there's rumours that bids have gone in for him. His contract's up in the summer. I don't know if we've offered him another contract or not, but you know, I've seen an interview with Rob Edwards and he's sort of hinting that
he could be going by the sounds of it.
Yeah, but we'll be all right, basically. You know, that's what he was kind of saying. So, and, you know, I've heard that Fleetwood has signed 2 ex-Luton strikers today, Jack Marriott and James Stockley, who are actually decent strikers. You know,
at least you know that means they won't be trying to get Mendes Gomez and that permanently.
Especially at that level. So I don't know if Fleetwood have got money or what. You know, apparently they paid like substantial undisclosed fees, but because obviously their contracts are probably up, so they may pay less, but still, like, I would have thought both Charlton and Peterborough would have kept hold of both of them players as backup at least. So that's quite an interesting one. So, you know, but then we've got 2 strikers at that club. So we've got Mendes Gomez and we've got Musgrave. Surely Musgrave is now not in, he's coming back to Luton. Surely he's not going to get ahead of them 2.
Seems like that to me.
So I'd say that Cornick will go and he'll come back, and maybe we'll sign another striker in summer. You know, there's been rumours about some other strikers, but vague stuff. But you know, got a day to go, so that's what I think is going to happen now. Because there's no point in Musgrave being there, I don't think. And you know, I think Mendes Gomez they'd still like to keep. He's not
definitely.
He's more of a winger.
Been our best player out on loan this season, 100%.
And you know, unless he's getting straight into our first team, I don't mind him still being there. But yeah, I feel that's going to happen. But I feel that he's still going to go. And he weren't great compared to his previous game. He was terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, he weren't. I don't know. He weren't good. You know, he had sort of one shot. I'm not really going to criticise him too much about that, but he just weren't really involved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the thing for me. You know, compared to Elijah in that game, for example, I'm not even saying it because he scored. You know, he was just getting into more movement, and
it was like he was going. It was like he was going, or potentially, you know, he didn't really want to get injured or go.
That's how it felt to me. Yeah, 100%.
I'd be surprised if he's even on the bench tomorrow. Well, we'll find. Well, I won't be that surprised because the deadline's so close. But you know, if he's not there, then he's gone, isn't it? And
no, definitely. That's what it will definitely be for me as well. Big up the Waste in the chat. He says, "Big up people and Tyler and Darren. Big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well." But yeah, there's that. And then, like I said, obviously we took the lead. Jordan Clark deserved it, man. I said it on the vlog when he scored. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. First half, he was causing mayhem. Against Wigan, he was causing mayhem, you know, doing the panners, the cheeky little panners, all of that. You know, and then, mate, that goal he scored. I didn't realise he'd done a kick-up and then shot until I saw it on the Emirates FA Cup Instagram, bigging him up for that. But flipping hell, mate, he's got a lot of confidence at the moment, and he's just these stuff I see him doing, kicking the football over the players, doing kick-ups during the middle of the game. pannering players, scoring goals like that. He's been brilliant. He has been brilliant. Remember, we got this guy for free as well. Mate, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Wicked goal, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, like his whole performance was impressive, outstanding. Like we said in the previous show, he's oozing confidence at the moment. And the goal was similar, a little bit similar to, you could say, Richarlison's goal for Brazil. Not as extravagant, but still like on the same. It's the same in the same family of skill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Definitely.
Because at first I was like, the keeper saved it. Do you know what I mean? But he
didn't get quite. Yeah.
What a finish from a midfielder as well. And yeah, his other, his confidence. He'll try this. He's really confident, and that will go on to the other players eventually. Do you know what I mean? Or they're going to think, I ain't getting in. No one's getting in ahead of him at the moment.
No,
like, unbelievable. And he deserved the goal anyway. And let's hope he can just keep them performances going. Because I don't know, I just feel like he's being played in the right position at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's really helping him.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%.
But yeah, excellent finish.
Yeah, and then not an excellent part. What happened very shortly after?
Immediately.
Literally immediately. We were celebrating, obviously, like I said, no seats next to me, so all the Luton fans were going over to the group, like, your mugs, and then I look over, they're 1-1 and they score, and then they're right back in our face. Rightly so. I'd be doing the same. But it was just very frustrating from our sense.
It's a schoolboy error. You don't do that. Luton,
you can't switch off like that.
They don't. They maybe do that once a season, twice. But that's rare. You just don't. That's just basic stuff. Potts as well, as the captain. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things you like. Right, don't switch off. Like, what? Why are you switching off? Because you've come back from 1-0 down to be 2-1 up. It's just ridiculous. Like, the concentration, just the whole, bang. Like the pass, Potts was blindsided. He could kind of see it was coming, and was just running backwards, and that was it. I'm not blaming Ethan. Again, it's a thing. He doesn't expect his defenders to do that. Yeah, and he come run it, but we should have been switched on. That's the schoolboy error. You stay switched on for at least 5 minutes after you scored a goal, properly alert. Do you know what I mean? And that was just ridiculous. Again, though, and that's what we used to be like. But we should be schooled on that, because we used to do things like that. And normally do score quite a lot, actually, if teams score. So to have it done to us is maybe that's what it was. We normally do it, and they just thought that but you can't be doing that at any level. So it's pretty poor, and I don't think Potts was very good in that game.
No, I agree.
He scored a header, but it was offside anyway. But other than that, like, he just does the basic things right. When it comes to, like, big things like that, he's always there. He's always that split second too late, or do you know what I mean? Like, not being the captain as well. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I feel like if make say Lockyer, but it's on their side. You know what I'm saying? He was the first man that before that, obviously, like, from the kickoff, but they just played it long, and he should have been alert to that.
No, 100%.
Yeah, what channel is that supposed to be on? Because it ain't on ITV.
It's on ITV4. It's the weirdest one to be on. Yeah, because I was looking. I just had a little look, and it's on that one. But yeah, if anyone's not watching it, obviously I know Stephen is. But yeah, West Ham are losing. Winning. Obviously, that's the game currently against Derby. I said 1-1, but from what I've seen, West Ham, this could be, I don't know, they just look very dominant to start off with. And I think you can just see the difference in the league in that sense. And actually, let me have a quick look. Check if James Collins is playing.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's starting. Yeah, he's starting. Oh yeah, there he is. He just slipped. Yeah, he just slipped. Obviously, if you know, when he was at Luton, he was probably my favourite player. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, there's that. Regarding that. So yeah, very frustrating. Obviously, the way we conceded the goal, like my dad said, you can't switch off like that at that level. Well, whatever level, sorry. But we have to give credit where it's due, and I feel Grimsby, they're brought brilliant support, and they done well. Their keeper was time wasting, rare to tear, but that I thought they'd done all right. To be fair, obviously defensively, I thought we were great, of course, but fair play to them. They've got replay. But it's gonna after today. Yeah, I can only see it going one way. So yeah, is there anything else you want to say overall before we get into the player ratings? There you go. Oh, what? 'Cause there's nothing there, Wolf. Is that what you're trying to say? But yeah, time to get into the player ratings. So obviously we'll start off with Ethan. Like I said earlier, a lot of people critical of his performance. I don't think it was that bad. The goal, we couldn't have done anything. And actually, I just remembered they had a shot at the end, near the end of the first half, and I didn't get it on record because I just didn't expect it. And my mate who was next to me at the time, he was saying, "No, they're going to go for this." I was like, "What do you mean they're going to go for this?" And they shot, and Ethan tipped it over. Bro, I didn't expect that whatsoever. That was a decent save. Well, good save because not a lot of people switched on there either. Do you know what I mean? So for me with Ethan, I'm gonna go with a 7. I don't think it was as bad as what people are saying, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. Generally, people are just looking for someone to blame, but look, before it's easy to try and blame him because he's the on loan keeper and he's the keeper, but made a fantastic save, and then a couple minutes later, whatever it was, let down by poor defending. So, and other than that, he was all right. You don't think, oh no, like, when we used to have Slew guy, people back past to him, you're like, no, don't, like, or
yeah, I remember we were like that.
You get that with Ethan.
No, you don't.
Do you know? So, nah, I'm not having that. 7 for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's for me, he's had one bad game for Luton, which was against West Brom, but he weren't the only player in that game. Do you know what I mean? There's been a lot of games this year where we've said it numerous times because it's true. A lot of the goals.
I've seen the game. People going on about they've not seen the game where he's saved us or whatever. Like he's kept us in it, or he's got us 3 points. But I haven't seen a game where he's been totally to blame. Like if it weren't for anyone, if it weren't for him, we'd have won or we'd have drawn. I ain't seen one game like that. There's always other errors that you can look into. And you know what I mean? I've never seen it like Sluga's done. He's done a few times. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Ethan hasn't done that once. So stop getting like it's easy to get on his back. And we obviously signed another keeper. Which we'll get to, but don't be expecting him to be starting because he won't. Yeah.
I'm going to shut down that straight away. Don't worry about that when we get to that. But yeah, let's go through some comments. Feel free to do your player ratings as well with us. Nathan Jones, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. Nathan Jones. We're coming for you. Yeah, no, I like that one, mate. I like that one. 1 or 2 saves, not to blame for goal. Exactly, mate. Exactly. 7, same as us. Exactly, mate. So yeah, there you go with that. There we go. Yeah, there we go with that. Moving on to the next player. We'll go over to We'll do Potts. Obviously, like we said, not a great performance from him. Like my dad said, especially with the captain's armband, to be honest. And I've said it numerous times. I don't mind keeping this guy, but we need someone, a left-sided centre back, that's going to be ahead of him. Because he's not the cutting edge going forward. I think there's a few players like that if we were to go up that are not that cutting edge. I think he's one of them. I hate to say it because obviously I don't have nothing against his player, but obviously Bradley is one of my favourites. I don't think he's that guy either. You know, there's a few. So yeah, for me, with Potts, not great. Obviously on the goal, the first goal, yeah, it wasn't great whatsoever from Potts. I'm gonna go over 5.
Yeah, exactly the same. You know, he was involved in both goals. You know, defensively, where he definitely could have done better, should have done better. And if you're at a certain level, you know, then you should be switched on. Like we said, especially as captain as well. We haven't addressed that position. Do you know what I mean? We've done it with other positions. We've brought in better players. Yeah, strikers, central defensive areas. You know, even with the Bree situation, we've replaced him. I'd say with someone definitely on his level, maybe even potentially a better player. And we just haven't managed to do that so far. You know, and he has been good at times, but I haven't really seen him do like last saving tackles and things like that. Do you know what I mean? I've just seen him like good in when he's heading it away sometimes and that. But when it comes to situations like that, he gets beat every time.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. And that you've got to improve that. And that's it. So yeah, 5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sorry, my camera's having them problems again, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, I'll try and sort it out while we go through them. But no, I totally agree. Like I said. Stephen says Potts, oh dear, captain should be switch on for whole 90 minutes. Maybe next level will be too much. 5.5. Exactly, mate. That's how I see it with him.
And I'd like to reiterate that point, really, when you think about it. Yeah, Grimsby brought loads of fans and but they're actually a League 2 team. So that makes it even worse. Do you know what I mean? If you can't do it against them kind of teams consistently, then you're not gonna move on to that level.
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely agree with that. And like I said, there's been a lot of games as well. Well, I haven't said it, but what I was going to say is there's been a lot of games as well where, you know, it links back to what you said about where he gets caught out. You know, I remember Coventry at home. You know, that was not good. But I think it's the first goal they scored. You know, clearing it, yeah, he's good. But 1-on-1, like you said, he can get caught out. So, yeah, man, I definitely agree with that. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Lockyer. Yeah, I think it was all right. You know, it wasn't really a standout like we can see from Lockyer. I'm just going to go over standard. I'll go over. It might sound low, but I'm going to go over 6.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It weren't a standout game for him. You know, again with the first goal, it was over Potts' side, so. You know, that's what it was. The second goal, he was kind of running back as well. So he should have been switched on as well. Let's be fair, but you know, I felt if they were in I reckon he might have got to it if he was potentially playing in Potts' position. You know what I mean? But yeah, not a standout performance for him, but not terrible. 6.5.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Lockyer wasn't tracking as he can do. Has done better. Exactly 6. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, Stephen. That's fair enough, mate. And then moving on to the last centre back, which is obviously Osho. Like I said, for me, second half he was brilliant. Standout performance alongside Clark with me. Not far off man of the match. Definitely in my top 3 in this game. For me, it's a debate between second or third. But yeah, he was brilliant. You know, the runs he was making earned us the penalty. He was really good. He was really good in this game. And you can see, you know, links back to what my dad said the last couple of weeks. You can see he's stepping up even more and, you know, earning a starting place, really, for me. Especially Burke trying to get minutes back as well. So yeah, for me with Osho, I'm going to go. What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with an 8.
Well, I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he was decent. Not to blame for the goals. Like going forward, he's really good. Like he's good. He had a lot of the ball. He was involved a lot in that game. And yeah, going forward as well, he was dangerous on a few occasions, and obviously won us the penalty to enable us to get back in. And he's looking better each game. So this is what I was saying before about Bradley getting back into that team.
Mm.
Because at the moment, for me, he's holding down that position. I like him anyway. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously moving on to the wing backs, we'll start off with Bell. I think he was, I don't think he was too bad trying to provide some crosses, taking on some players like we know he can. But I wouldn't say it was, one of his better performances that we've seen. That's what I will say. I'll probably go with another 6.5, same as Lockyer.
Yeah, same. Like it wasn't. Similar to Lockyer in that respect. It wasn't the extra kind of bits that we expect for him, like we expected, especially again against a lower league team. I'd have thought it'd have been more like, getting forward and things like that. But obviously, they were fighting hard. Just above average performance from him.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, definitely. Bell comfortable-ish, but need better final pass, 6.7. Yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, there you go with that. Moving on to the other side. Excuse me. Obviously, that's where Doherty was playing. In the first half, he was doing all right on that right hand side as well. Earned us quite a lot of corners. Again, I think obviously it's not one of his better performances we've seen. Again, I'm going to go with another 6.5.
I thought it was slightly better than that. It was involved in quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? He provided the cross for Clark's goal, so he got the assist there. Do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
we got the ball. He was one of our better players for me. I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I forgot about the assist, to be fair. Doherty has pace, can pick a pass. Not in natural position, but he was okay. 7, says Stephen. Yep, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I did forget about the assist. Moving on to the next player. We'll go over to, obviously, the midfield now. Ruddock. We'll start off with Ruddock. Obviously, it was his 350th appearance. Big up to him for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Luton legend. Let's be real now. He's definitely up there. The greats when it comes to that. The journey he's had as well. We're just hoping we get that final one, obviously, to the Premier League with him. That would just be absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, no, I thought he was all right in this game. First half, bar one little pass, I thought he was brilliant. Something I've really noticed with him at the moment is obviously he is earning his place to start in games, but also the fact, he's just getting stuck in. Some of his slide tackles, he'd been phenomenal, because we know a lot of players can go in for slide tackles and, just give away a stupid free kick, but he times them well. He was linking up well, getting hold of the ball, playing it across, spraying it across. There's a couple of times he tried playing long balls over towards the wingers. And they were good balls at times, especially over towards Doherty, I thought. Yeah, man, it was a good performance from Ruddock. I'm going to go for Ruddock. I'm going to go with a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. Like, what I like, he's definitely settled down. He's definitely fitter and stronger. He seems to be. What I've noticed as well is like he takes a lot more time with his passing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a lot more thinking about where he's going to do. Whereas in previous seasons, he's kind of rushed it a little bit sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But he's a lot more composed nowadays, and he's just again looking better every game. Wasn't standout, but it was decent. I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, No, absolutely. And then moving on, actually, I'll read Stephen's one. It literally just come through. It says, Apelli, 350th. What a legend. Gone through all the leagues and conference.
Yeah.
Little bits of flair which opened the defence. Tried to open the defence, sorry. 7. Exactly, mate. Exactly. 100%. And then moving on to the other midfielder, obviously alongside him, that was obviously Campbell. Yeah, you know what you're really going to get from Campbell. I say that in like every single one. And I wouldn't really say it's one of his standouts. I'll go with, yeah, like again, it sounds low, but I'll give it quite a few. I'm going to go with 6.5.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're getting a few, same tonight. Yeah, like he was there again. He's played a lot of football.
Yeah, to be fair to him,
quite combatant in midfield as well. It wasn't an easy game, but he weren't terrible. It's just just below a little bit below what we expect. So 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously the last midfielder that obviously started, Jordan Clark, my man of the match. I'll put it out there, 100%. I think it's one of the more obvious man of the matches this week. There's still a lot of people up there. Like I said, for me, the main three, obviously another one I'll get into in a minute, but obviously I'll put Osho up there as well. But for me, Clark, like I said, the audacity of what he was doing in the first half, was absolutely brilliant. The kick-ups, during the middle of the game, the flick over, the goal, the kick-up and the shot. 100% man of the match for me, without a shadow of a doubt. Deserved his goal. I said that on the vlog. As for the rating, what am I going to give Clark? Do you know what? I don't really do it a lot, but I'm going to go double figures. I'm going to give him 10.
I find it, but yeah, close, very close for me. I'm going to give him a 9. He is my man of the match. He looks dangerous. He looks real quality at the moment. And you get excited like now when he's on the ball. You're like, yeah, he's going to do something.
Yeah.
Great finish. Just great character all round in that game. Like potentially maybe like, because he was a captain in the previous game, like maybe should have just kept it with him, hard decision, but I felt like I would have done.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Would there have been too much pressure on him? Maybe he wouldn't have performed as well as he did. Who knows? But it was one of the best performances I've seen from him in a Luton shirt. He was similar to that when we first signed him. I remember one pre-season he was just banging. I think didn't he score like 7 goals in one game or so? I don't know, or 7 goals in pre-season. He was just scoring.
Yeah, it was in pre-season. Yeah, I remember.
And obviously he was confident then. I think maybe he got injured. But now he seems to be getting back to his best and showing that he's definitely improved. And just coming on the leaps and bounds, and you just want to see him on the team sheet now. Like the way he's going, he's up there for player of the season at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Double figures for me were quite, I know it sounds harsh and that, but it'll be a super special performance. It was very good performance, very, very good performance. I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah, the only reason I give him double figures, that's how I rarely give it to people. It's just the audacity to do what he was doing in the first half. People go, oh yeah, but it's Grimsby, rare tear. But just who does that? Like them sort of kick ups, and just the way he kicked it over as well. Remember when Rich Arlison done that, got absolutely clattered. It's not in the Forest. You know what I mean? So. And the goal as well.
It wasn't quite like that. He was running with the ball. Do you know what I mean? It was control as well. It wasn't just
like all the Luton fans are loving it.
Do you know what I mean? It weren't cocky. It was just impressive. No. It's a different thing for me. But yeah, great. Yeah. Definitely deserved the man of the match from the whatever it was, the club or whatever.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. And then obviously moving on to the play. Oh, actually, let me go through Stephen's player ratings. Nearly forgot. There's Campbell Pitbull, first name on team sheet, but looked a little out of sorts. Lower league can
Yeah, I might go into that a little bit because to be fair, like we used to be like the underdogs, so we're not used to being the favourites as well.
Yeah, true.
I do think that kind of affects us to some degree, and I feel like a bit of that against Watford because we were like on form, and that, and I just feel like sometimes the pressure can get to us because we're used to being the underdogs. So that's it. Do you know what I mean? So I do. Maybe you can, but you've got to knock that out. Do you know what I mean? Because the better you get, you avoid them. You play them sort of teams and you put them to bed. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, 100%. Stephen also says for Clark, can't argue at all. Manner of match, some skill, pace, and taking players on. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. We were loving it when he was doing no kick ups. I think one of our fans like, oh, it's just so funny. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, there's all the midfielders, and then obviously going up to the two that started. We'll start off with Cornick up front. And like I said, I felt he needed to come off. I'll be honest. I felt he needed to come off. Felt Elijah, for example, was like a lot more in the game. Like we said earlier, could it be that he's potentially on the way out? Is he thinking about that? Because I think with the rumours, isn't it not like it was just one club that he's been rumoured with as well? I think that can play a part on him, or whoever you are in that sense. So, yeah, not great from Cornick for me. I'll go with a 6.5.
I'm going to give him a 6. Just.
Actually, no, I'm going to go 6 as well, actually. No, because I just remembered who I gave 6.5.
He weren't that, he's involved in a couple of things, but really not great at all. Like, and it was like that. I don't get it because the last game was magnificent, but he done that against, was it QPR? Or Norwich? I can't remember, one of them teams, and he was just terrible. This was slightly better, but not by much. I mean, after 6, just.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. And then moving on to the last player, that obviously started out the 11. Obviously, that was Elijah. Obviously, 4 out of 4. His confidence is booming. Brilliant penalty. I thought he was decent in the first half, trying to take players on. He's probably my close second. You could argue him or Osho for manner of match, in my opinion, for that. But yeah, he was brilliant yet again. As for a rating for Elijah, I'm going to go with a 8.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. He's hungry now. He seems back more like it was last season. Obviously scored a penalty, put pressure on that as well, being 1-0 down at home. And he just looks a lot more confident and is winning the ball and just looks more effective. And it was difficult. They defended doggedly. He had a couple of good chances where potentially he would have got a couple of more goals as well. So yeah, got to give him an 8 as well.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Stephen says, Cornick, not happy, wasn't getting involved, even if he is on his way out, shouldn't disrupt your game. You're a professional. 5.5. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, hopefully, mate, or even before, that would be boss.
Yeah, new stadium.
Yeah, that would be, true. Adebayo doing his thing, pen perfect placement, holding up as usually, and taking his man on. Like to see more of that. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I was impressed. Obviously, if you watch the vlog as well, you'd have seen, and he was doing that a couple of times in the first half as well. So yeah, man, definitely. Now moving on to players that come on. Obviously, the first 2 players that come on were obviously attacking changes. Woodrow. Woodrow, did I see much of him? I think he, like I said, I think he was in that Cam role. That's what it looked like to me, and it would have made sense because obviously Campbell come off, and to me at the time it seemed like we put Clark, more behind, which we have done at times this season. Woodrow, I can't remember if I saw too much, to be honest. So I'll just go with a 6. Really, I'll go with a 6. That's what I'm going to say on that. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 6 because I just can't think if I saw too much from him, nor in a good or bad way. It's just I just don't think I saw an awful lot. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 6. So yeah, I'll give Woodrow a 6. I can't really remember if I saw much.
Yeah, same. It's one of them substitutes. They generally get that unless they come on and really affect the game. So yeah, I'll just stand with that as well.
Yeah, Stephen's gone with it as well. Yeah, exactly, mate. And then Morris was the next one. It wasn't the Morris, we have seen. I will be honest. There's a few times, broken the ball down nicely and etc. I think he was more seen than Woodrow though, because like I said, I can't really remember Woodrow doing much. I'm not saying Morris done an awful lot in that game, but I just saw more of him. I saw a couple of controls, etc. Morris, I'll give a 6.5.
Yeah, same. Like I feel like if he'd have come on half time or earlier, then he might have had more time to affect the game. I feel like he just didn't get enough time, but he looked dangerous on a couple of occasions. But we know he's a good player anyway, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, for this game, just 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be brilliant, mate. That would be absolutely brilliant. I mean, I said 4th, and I'll stand by it because I said that at the start of the season. But yeah, that'd be phenomenal, mate. Be phenomenal. But we need to start turning our home games into wins. That's what we need to do. Hopefully that starts tomorrow, which obviously we'll get into as well. Morris Morning Cornick, 6. Yeah, there you go. There you go with that. And then obviously the next 2 subs. God, I'm waiting for Stephen's rating here. Fred. To be fair, I thought when Fred come on, obviously he did come on as that right wing back, and then obviously we moved Bell to left centre back. I thought he was, he was trying to make things happen on that right. I think he earned us a corner a few times, throw-ins, etc. I don't think he was too bad, to be honest. I'm going to go over 6.5.
Yeah, same. Like it's his first game back for a while, and he didn't. I was looking out for him, thinking because he's not great defensively, and he gets caught out on certain things, but he was all right, and he actually made a last-ditch clearance off the line as well. So
yes, true. Yeah,
pretty
decent. Put that on the vlog and all. Yeah,
glad to see him back because he is a good player.
Mm.
He's definitely a good player. 6.5.
Yeah, and Adam was bigging him up earlier as well. Obviously, Adam follows Wickham as well, which a lot of us don't like, of course. But he was bigging him up. Yeah, there it is. Fred's an excellent player. Yeah, he's good, mate. He's good, mate. 100%. Oh my days! Stephen's rating. Nah. He's not being serious there. Oh my. Flick says, "Would you take Pookie?" Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, probably, but he wouldn't be getting. Well, I think we'd take him, but his wages would just be ridiculous.
Yeah. No, we have to be like realistic now. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's that. And then obviously the last player, finally, my man come on. It was good to see him again, and that was obviously Berry. I feel sorry for him because I feel he should start a lot more games than he does. Especially in games like Blackpool, for example, you got the winning goal. And that's the thing, his movement can, put players into positions and, put them out of position, which just benefits us, of course. When he come on in this game still, he was trying to make things happen. A couple of times played the ball forward. He was getting into, spaces as well. I remember there was a time, I think it was with Elijah, I want to say, they were doing a bit of a link up, and Berry, literally, I look back on it in a vlog, he was pointing go on over here. And I think we earned a corner from it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with another 6.5.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent player. Other players are getting ahead of him, but at the moment, that's all it is because they're performing well enough. Do you know what I mean? But he's still a squad player. He's still able to come on and cause havoc. He nearly, cross-come shot where he went over the hoardings.
Oh yeah. Someone
He's
took a picture of
always,
that.
do you know what I mean? He's always good in front of goal like that. In the penalty area, he's excellent. And he can definitely be utilised like that. So we'll see going forward, but I feel he should be offered another contract personally if he hasn't already.
Yeah, no, I agree.
6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stephen says Berry, the forgotten man, lively 6 exactly was lively. So yeah, there you go. There are all the player ratings. Obviously, the highest player was obviously Clark. Both given man of the match. For me, like I said, Elijah and Osho not far behind. But yeah, overall, disappointing, especially in the sense with the games we've got coming as well. We've got a lot of games, but after seeing that Southampton draw that we got, obviously, if we go through, I think we'll be well up for it, and I think we will progress, especially being away from home. So yeah, that's what I got to say on it. Any final thoughts you want to say on the game as a whole, Dad?
No, that's it, mate.
There you go. But yeah, moving on. Obviously, 2 transfer news. Jack Walton in, ISTED out. Obviously, it's a switch. Obviously, we do like to, get older Barnsley players, but this time we've actually given one of ours. And yeah, obviously, Jack Walton. What I'm going to do to start off is what I usually do: share my screen and see what's been said on the Luton website. And yeah, apologies that my camera is not on. It's just not saying it's not recognised. So I'll have a look after the stream at what the hell's going on. But yeah, Jack Walton joins from Barnsley, and obviously ISTED heads the other way. Obviously, there's a picture of him in that beautiful goalkeeper kit. You know what I mean? It says, we are delighted to confirm the signing of goalkeeper Jack Walton from Barnsley on a permanent basis. So obviously, it's permanent as well, not, for an undisclosed fee. Obviously, townkeeper ISTED moving in the opposite direction. Walton's obviously 24. Joined Barnsley's academy as a 15-year-old from Bolton Wanderers and quickly impressed staff as he became the regular keeper for the under-18s. He also gained international recognition, with the England under-18 squad as a 17-year-old and later signed a 3-year professional deal as he forced his way into team condition. Between 2017 and 2019. Only PlayStation adverts. The shot stopper proved to be a vital part of Barnsley's championship survival during the 1920 season, where he kept 5 clean sheets in the final 9 games of the campaign. He then played 24 times in the championship as the Tykes. I think that's their nickname thing, isn't it? Reached the playoff semis the following season. This term is as massed. Never heard of that word. 9 appearances in all competitions, keeping 2 clean sheets. Rob Edwards, this is what he had to say about it. Jack is an excellent, experienced goalkeeper who has worked with Kevin Pilkington before. We've been working behind the scenes since we let Matt Macy go on loan with Portsmouth, and we wanted to make sure we strengthen the depth of that department. With Jack coming in, we feel we've done that. Obviously, that's a picture of him. The beautiful badge in the background. We love that. He's got plenty of experience playing in the Championship with Barnsley, and we know that if anything were to happen with Ethan, we'd be very comfortable with the competition and cover in that area of the pitch. With James Shea coming back to fitness too. Yep, just quickly about that. I saw Shea at the game the other day, warming up and stuff. That's obviously good to see. He's back a lot quicker than I expected, but I still don't expect him to be in the team sheet anytime soon, even if it's on the bench. Especially with this keeper now coming in as well. I said the 25-year-old who has made 6 appearances in all competitions since joining the Hatters from Stoke in the summer of 2017, has obviously moved to Oakwell, obviously to Barnsley. This is what Rob Edwards has said as well on the ISTED thing. We felt that Harry has given a lot to the club, and it's going to be difficult for us to give him that opportunity between the sticks. This gives him a chance to get out there and build a career, fight for his place at a really good club in Barnsley. We felt that is the right move for Harry, and throughout the process, he's been magnificent. He's been brilliant around the group, a big member of the culture here, and we'll miss that. But he's got to get his career going as well, and we wish him all the best up at Barnsley. And then obviously, welcome to Luton Town, Jack. And then obviously, good luck at Oakwell, Harry. Was him in goal in training. So yeah, interesting. It's good to obviously hear that we, was looking at stuff as soon as Matt Macy obviously went. The ISTED situation, obviously, there was a lot of games where I said, I'd love to see him start in the FA Cup and etc. But at the same time, big up to him in the sense he's been at the club in years. But, it's one of them. It's one of them for me where you've got to look at it. A lot of people, I remember when he's at Woolstone and a lot of people said he weren't even, overly the best there. So you got to look at it because, we've had all these managers and they've never really given him that opportunity. So is he as really good as what people think? Don't get me wrong. That Chelsea game, he was phenomenal. But then again, that's one game, it's not a lot. Like I said, there are only 6 appearances, right, his whole time at Luton. So, to me, from my perspective, it seems like he's another good player in that changing room. I see him always getting on with whoever we brought in, keeper-wise and etc. But is he as really as good as what people think? I'm not really too sure, to be honest. The more I think about it, but yeah, your thoughts on it, Dad? ISTED?
Yeah, exactly the same. Like when you go into the detail, you can see, he's like I said, he's made 6 appearances in 5 years, albeit that he's looked half decent, but he's never really pushed for that spot. We're not at the club. There's been a couple of managers there now, and they're having him as backup, but no one's really like he's obviously not pushing to get that first team position. And it ties back to the fact that Shea's ahead of him as well. And Shea's probably when you go into detail, he has been a very, very good backup for us, probably better than ISTED. Right, it was given a couple of games, but Shea was there, more. And he's right. He needs his career kick-starting again. The teams he was loaned out to were not even Football League teams. One of the teams you mentioned, who was it again?
Woolstone.
Their fans didn't think he was all that when he was there. So, we're in the Championship now. And obviously he's not seen as being that keeper. Same as Macy. Macy's definitely not being seen as that. Both of them will be gone. Yeah, they're both loaned out, but they'll both be. That's just covering our back, just in case we do get injuries or Ethan gets recalled or whatever. That's all that is. They'll both be gone at the end of the season. The new signing's interesting. Potentially, he's got a lot more experience in the Championship. He's younger. Barnsley fans rate him, and he's coming in as a backup potential first teamer if Ethan leaves and we don't get anyone else in. We'll get someone else in, but we'll see on that basis. But when Barnsley got into the playoffs, he played like 20 odd games for him, so I think he was a big part of that. Obviously, he'd have played with Morris, Woodrow before, potentially maybe even. Well, I think he's quite young, so I don't know if you know any other players that were at Barnsley that we've got. But I see it as a good signing, and that's it. I don't expect him to be starting against. Well, potentially he could start against Grimsby, but I can't see him because of the prize. I think we'll go really strong, but we'll probably see him more, in pre-season and possibly next season. But we'll see. But he's highly rated, so let's just work him in and see what he can do.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Big up everyone that's just watched the vlog. I've just seen the vlog has touched down on 1K views to the other day as well. So big up yourselves. That's back to back. They've got over 1,000 views. Big up everyone for that. So yeah, this my thoughts on this new keeper. There's not really a lot to overly judge on in recent times. I think he's only played a few games, maybe even only one, I think it was, or something this season. Obviously, based on what they were saying, it was more, him back in the day. Well, not necessarily back in the day because he's not like, massively old in that sense in football, but just, it's more when he was younger. But yeah, it seems like a good backup. I've had a look at what Barnsley fans have had to say, and they said it's a good backup on your hands. So yeah, we'll see what goes on. But for me, Ethan's still going to be the starter, 100%, especially now that he's also, been in the squad much longer as well. He knows the players more so far, and he is, the one that's, that main reason, which is that loan, of course. So yeah, for me, Ethan's still going to be ahead, and I agree with you, Dad. I think we'll go strong against Barnsley. It goes back to what I said earlier. We definitely will, especially now with what's on the line in that sense. And yeah, we've been going strong in the FA Cup anyway, so I just expect quite a strong squad when it comes to it. Which I believe that game will be next Tuesday, if I'm correct. So yeah, that is that. I was thinking, what the hell? You know what I mean, Stephen? I was like, what is going on there, mate? I don't really hear that word often. So yeah, there you go. No, Luton do not want Nunes, and plus his wages will be an absolute madness as well. But yeah, man, is there anything else you want to say on the goalkeeper situation?
No, that's it. I've said all that I need to say on it.
Yeah, no, same here, of course. And then moving on to a game tomorrow, the final bit of this episode. We obviously take on Cardiff. Obviously, we did play Cardiff earlier on in the season. That was a midweek game as well. I remember watching that. I think I ended up watching it by myself, if I'm correct, in my front room by myself with my dog. Early days of having a dog. And yeah, obviously, we won that game 2-1. I can't remember who scored that game. I remember Cardiff scored near the end. I just can't remember who scored for us. I've got a feeling Osho did, or we got an assist or something. I can't remember anyway, but we won that game. Obviously in the league, obviously we sit 7th. Obviously we do have games in hand. Cardiff, when I last looked, they were just above relegation. Yet they still are as well. 3 points above it. It's an interesting one. We don't really have a great record at home, from what I can remember, against Cardiff. We are obviously on the same points as Millwall, who are below us. Same goal difference, I think. And then obviously Norwich are above us as well on goal difference. So it's a mad one. Obviously, like I said, we have got two games in hand. A few teams have one game in hand and all. But yeah, I'm not too confident going into this one. And it's not really because I think, Cardiff are the greatest side. It's just our home form, to be honest with you. That's why I'm not feeling too confident. As much as it is a midweek, I think the last midweek at home, if I'm correct, was that. Oh, no. Actually in the league, I think it was that Norwich game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, we had Wigan in the FA Cup, but that was obviously in the FA Cup, like I said. So, we have won games, but there's been too many draws. So just with our home form overall, our home record, I'm not feeling too confident in that sense. But yeah, how are you feeling going into this one, Daz?
Similar, but because we haven't beaten them at home in the league.
That as well, yeah.
For 20 years.
But then again, it's one of them, isn't it? Because then we have broken records this season. We've already beaten them as well.
And also, these are the games that we need to be winning and proving that why we should get into the playoffs. And I do think we've got a better team. And, the player's going to... Dre May's going to make his debut.
Yeah.
Against his former club as well. So that's going to add a little bit of spice to it. I think he'd be really good because he was their player of the season, young player of the season. I'd expect him to be making his debut. He can utilise Doughty in different positions. I just think we've got enough. Morris be back. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think we've just got enough to be beating them. We have, our home form isn't great, but we haven't actually lost a lot at home at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is where we.
It's just too many draws, like I keep saying.
Yeah, I think this is probably where we can kick on.
Hopefully, like I said earlier, hopefully this is where we sort that out. But yeah, that's one of them for me. Like, records are there to be broken. We've broken a lot of records this season, like doing double over Norwich, QPR, and we could do it here against Cardiff in that sense, because obviously that home record, like I said. So there's stuff you look at that as well, and you got to feel positive in that sense. They are just above the relegation zone, which we know, obviously, teams, when you play them at the bottom, they can be tough, but there's stuff as well that can make you feel confident. It's one of them for me. Let's go through some comments. Big up Don in the chat. Interesting. Obviously, Don's very reliable on this sort of stuff.
I did hear about that as well. I'll have a little look at him now, but again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with other strikers at the club. But we keep doing this as well where we can. We're getting these players in early if we see them potential, and we're able to do that because we're a championship side now, so it's pretty decent. But yeah, I have heard that as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't heard much, but like I said, Don is very reliable in this sort of thing, so I do definitely believe him there. Big up yourself, mate, as well. Hope you're well. Will there be a Luton watch along tomorrow? Yes, there will. I'm not going to the game tomorrow. I'm hoping to go Stoke on the weekend at home. But yeah, it will be on the red button, so I will be doing a watch along. Obviously, the only downside is no replays, but done plenty of them watch alongs now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know next load of watch alongs for Luton definitely. While we talk about it, so obviously tomorrow, Preston away. That's on the red button. I can't remember when that is. It's fairly soon, and then Millwall. That is on Sky Sports Football. And there might be a main event at that time as well. It depends what else is going on there. But yeah, them three, I'll be doing watch-alongs too. So yeah, there's that. Stephen says the Welsh puts in the sheet. Repeat performance from the away game will be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Big up Spencer in the chat. He's saying hello to everyone. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Jackie says we have a new defender. We will see him tomorrow. And Josh Key. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Josh Key when it comes to us being linked. So yeah, there you go with that. We need a new defender. I've been saying that for time. Preferably a left-sided one, but if they can do a job, the whole defence, then sound. That is what we like.
Well, from what I've seen of that guy, he plays in Bree's position.
Right.
And he gets on. He scores quite a few goals as well. So,
interesting.
Yeah. But we do need backup if you think about it, because this guy's only on loan from Leeds. There is potential signing.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Us, I guess. But we still need backup in that position anyway. So that'd be it. From what I can see, just based on his statistics and his age, that'd be a very good, signing.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I hear what you're saying. Yes. Just quickly on that. Yeah, I saw that.
Did they?
Interesting one, but apparently he had like a disagreement or a bus up, whatever you want to call it, with Pep in training grounds, apparently. So when that happens, I'm not really shocked in that case.
Who did they sell him to?
I want to say was it Bayern Munich, people? I want to say it was Bayern Munich. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, was it Bayern Munich? You lot will let me know. I think it was Bayern Munich, Dad. I'm trying to find out.
I need to get him out of my dream teams then, because he's in a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, Bayern. Yeah, it was Bayern. Shay's telling me, it was Bayern. Yeah, there you go then. Obviously, talk about the West Ham game 3-2 derby. I don't know. They ain't been great the first half. I'd say it's interesting. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, like I said, it's a 50-50 really going into this one. But what we're getting to now is the lineup. So obviously the lineup we'd go with. Obviously, you lot know how the drill is by now. If you don't, I say my lineup. My dad says if he agrees. So obviously in goal, Ethan. I shall have a doubt for me. Centre backs, I'm going to go Osho. He deserves to carry on. Obviously, Burke's still getting into the swing of things as well. Lockyer. And we might not ideally want to see this, but I just feel it will happen. And I will go with it myself in that sense as well, just due to how Potts played. I'm going to go Bell here on the left side, and then the left wing back. I'm going to go Doherty, and then I'm going to go on the right. Obviously, new signing. Oh, where is he? There he is. And then the midfield. I'm going to go. Probably going on change midfield, to be honest. So I know Campbell's played a lot of games, but it's just that name, isn't he, on the team sheet? Ruddock, I feel he deserves to continue. And then Clark, Clark definitely. I don't know why I debated that after the other game. Game the other day. What's going on here? Why is he not? Oh, there we go. There he is. And then up front, I think we know what it's going to be. Most likely, definitely be Elijah. Especially if how he's been. Or actually, it will be him. I'm just putting him on this side. Still ain't got a picture. What is that all about? Seriously. And then Morris. That's probably what I'd go with. So yeah, probably the easiest lineup I've done in a while, to be fair. Usually I'm debating with at least one or two, but no, for me, that was quite easy for me. The only one you could really probably debate is maybe not putting Bell there, but I just feel after Potts' performance, he might be dropped. But yeah, your thoughts on that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, similar to yours, but I don't think Potts will be dropped. You know, because of his history of the. It depends on what the manager's like, what his mentality is. I personally would drop him, but then I don't think Bell's good in that position either. So, for me,
he doesn't have the freedom to do what he usually does.
Like for me, you either try another defender there and put Bell in Doughty's position, or not. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel that Doughty will be benched for this game. And Potts will start. And what's the new signing's name again?
I just say Cody. I need to actually get the Google Translate up of his surname.
Right.
I think it's Draymar, but I'm probably saying it wrong.
It's Draymar. That's it. Right.
Draymar.
He'll definitely make his debut against Cardiff.
Yeah, that's weird that it's against them as well, isn't it? So that's where he was.
But I can see that happening, but I don't think Potts is going to get dropped. But you never know. And if he does, then I expect probably Lockyer to be captain. But other than that, Morris needs to be starting. Elijah needs to be starting. Clark needs to be starting. That's it, definitely. So I can see that and I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And now it's that time. Score predictions. Like I said, you can and you can't be confident going into this. There's reasons you can and can't. You know, Cardiff obviously, down there, but again, we know teams down there can be difficult. And again, that record we have against them at home is not so great. But then again, we've broke a lot of records this season. There's a lot of things going into it where it can swing both ways. But how are you feeling for score prediction in this one, Dad?
I think we'll sneak it. I'm confident. We're a better team, better club now than we was before. I looked at the games we did lose to them. They had better certain players. I just feel that, and they were a bit better. They're struggling this season. I think we've got enough to beat them. And I think after the Grimsby game as well, a lot of players would have felt like that was a defeat. They'll be hyped up for the Southampton potential game as well. It's going to give them an extra boost in the way they play. I just think that we'll sneak it. I'm going to go 2-1.
Nice. Nice. Getting your score predictions in the chat as well, people. Just see Jackie's put hers in, so I'll get onto that. Stephen's lineup, it would be the same as West Brom, just obviously the new signing in, which is fair enough, mate. So yeah, my score prediction, then I'll get into yours. I just think it's going to be another one where we draw, and it's just a disappointing one in that sense. You know, I remember last season as well, we lost to Cardiff at home. That was frustrating. And I think we actually had them and Stoke back to back. Don't want to jinx anything, but we didn't win them games. So I'm going to go for 1-1 though. I don't think anyone will beat anyone. I think if someone does, hopefully it will be us. I could just see, yeah, I could see both teams winning. I hate to say it. Usually I like to obviously just say us, but just being honest, I'm going to go 1-1. Score, goal scorers, Dad, for you?
Morris and the new signing.
New signing, that would be boss. That would be boss. I'm going to go Elijah. I'm going to go Elijah to make it 5 out of 5. I just wouldn't be shocked at this point. But yeah, your score predictions. Feel free to get in your goal score as well. Jackie's gone 2-1, same as you. And Spencer, as a neutral, has also gone 2-1 to us as well. So yeah, I'm hoping. I do think if someone wins, it will be a 2-1. But I just got a feeling it's going to be a 1-1, unfortunately. West Ham have made it 2-0, by the way, so it looks like they will be playing Man United in the next round, which I think's away again. I swear West Ham always get United. It's mad. But yeah, that is that. Dad, any final thoughts or anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Keep faith, and let's hope we can sign another couple of players before the deadline. And if anyone goes, they go. If not, if Harry don't go tomorrow, he'll be going in the summer, I believe, anyway. Probably for nothing. But is what it is.
I agree on that. And yeah, I might potentially do a stream to the last hour of deadline day. I usually do. So I might do that again, to be honest, after the Luton game. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, big up everyone. Been a very enjoyable episode of this. I've enjoyed it. Ended up on 11 likes so far. Please do smash that like button if you haven't already. Do make sure you check out my recent vlogs as well to Luton games if you haven't already. Like I said, we touched down on 1K views to the one the other day, so big up everyone that's watched that. And yeah, man, I'll be back again with another watch long tomorrow. I'll definitely be doing that if I don't do the deadline thing, but I'll probably do that as well. So yeah, man, don't forget to smash a like on the video, like I said, if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on the notification bell as well. And if you are watching on playback, make sure you smash a like, all that as well. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are in the description. And yeah, next Hat Show will be Friday. Obviously, we'll talk about this game and transfer news, obviously, with my dad. And then if we do any more, of course. And then obviously get into Stoke game. So yeah, man, big up everyone. And yeah, subscribe to T-Boys TV Extra as well. Link to that is in the description. And we will see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace.